I'm joined here with head women's basketball coach Katie Vaughn, whose Tritons are back home on Thursday to host William Jewell. Coach, a couple tough road losses for you guys last week to open the conference. What did you kind of learn about your team in those first couple GLVC games?
Well, the biggest thing I learned is we're still missing that guard rotation when we lost Laura Zereni. We have some young kids that are stepping into that role, but it is she played a huge part in that guard rotation that we had last year. So especially on the road against two very, very good GLVC teams, well coached. So I thought that was our biggest thing, and it's a tough road trip in general. So to see our kids fight back, we got down early to Drury in the second quarter we got in a little foul trouble. Again, that comes down to that rotation, just not having that. And then I thought we fought back the second half. We didn't give up. And then we go into Truman. They didn't play Thursday night, so they're fresh. They play 10 kids, so just a very different team to play, compared to Drury in anyway. But so very different teams, so we really had to regroup in one day and then go to battle with them. And I thought, again, we got down at one point and came back and gave ourselves a chance to win. So the fight's there, the hard work is there, the one is there, the heart is there. So we just got to keep putting it together and practicing day after day and understand what's keeping us in games, what gets us back in games when we get down. And again, just keep working through our offense and our defensive principles.
It does have to say a little bit about your team to be able to come back in both of those games, especially against Drury when you guys are down quite a bit in that second quarter, and then you outscore them in the second half. And then at Truman, you're down 13 with a few minutes to go, and you cut it down to 4.
Yeah, we're very capable. We have kids playing in different roles. Shantae Johnson's playing more of a guard spot than a 4-5 that she played last year. So she's making some kind of, I would call them immature mistakes for being a senior, but she's in a different role. So we're kind of giving her time to kind of get through all of that. But she does so many other things dynamically, rebounding, defensively, just not really stat type things. So we have to keep her on the floor, and again, she's a good rotation. She just has to learn that role, and again, that's just going to take time. We have freshmen playing. That takes time too. So they're competitors. They want to win. They believe in each other. They play as a team. So again, we get through mistakes, but sometimes we have to get down a little bit to say, oh gosh, here we go, we got to fight back. So when you have a team that fights, you can be in any game. So as a coach, that's good to see. Now we just need to try to, when we have a 5-point lead like we did at half against Truman, keep that lead and then build on it instead of, and Truman's a very good team. They're not just going to roll over and die. So and that's going to be the GLVC. You're never going to get a lead on someone and they're just going to give it to you. So I think this is the time where we learn all of that through these games too.
So you've got William Jewell up Thursday. It's your third GLVC game early in the year. What do you expect from that matchup, and how do you see your team growing from last week to this week?
The biggest challenge is that these three teams are very different. Jewell plays very differently than Truman. So just really getting, again, these young kids to understand how to prep for each game and what we need to do to change, and just not change a lot, but just change here and there and what we need to do and what they're going to do to us. What we ran against Truman and what worked may not work against Jewell. We have to tweak it just a little bit based off how they guard things. They're long, they're big. They brought in, I think they have a redshirt freshman that's playing a lot of minutes and scoring for them that we didn't see last year. So they have some pieces that our returners haven't faced against them. They play hard. They don't let up. They go at you, but they run their offense. They look for you to break down, and then they look to get an easy bucket. So I'm glad we're home. We need a home game here. We have played well at home so far, so hopefully that plays a part in it too. But we're hitting that, I hate to talk about it, but finals week, the kids are hitting the end of the semester. We don't make excuses for them, but at the end of the day, it is getting to that time of year where there's a lot on their plate. They have to really shift where their focus goes at different times of the day, different times of the week. So I know our girls will bring it, but again, it's going to be a challenge for our girls to come in and compete.
Let's talk a little bit about freshman Alex LaPorta. She's putting up some big numbers as a freshman. She's got 5 double-doubles in 6 games, and she's leading the conference in rebounding. She obviously doesn't look like she's afraid to get in there and bang and wants to get the ball and plays hard.
No, she's actually been one of our biggest surprises. She just a workhorse, man. She doesn't give up. She's relentless. Nothing phases her. She just plays steady all the time, whether we get up, whether we get down. Her game doesn't change, and that's why she's playing a lot of minutes. and it's a good rotation for the 5-4 spot with her, Fletcher, Shantae, and our other freshman Alex, who we've gotten in there a little bit. She hasn't seen a lot of minutes late, but again, it's her work ethic, and she's so coachable. We tell her one thing, or she makes this mistake, we talk to her about it, and she adjusts it. So she's just going to continue to grow throughout this year. And again, right now, her biggest downfall is our offense, like finding her role within our offense. But she doesn't shy away from getting those junk points, which is really, it brings us back in games, and it keeps us in games, and it has really been, again, a kind of a surprising factor. You never know what you're going to get out of the freshmen when they come in. They all have a different role on their high school team. So very pleasantly surprised, and the girls have responded really well to her. She's a great teammate. Just can't say enough good things. So I'm glad she's getting rewarded for her hard work, because again, it's I'm sure hard to match up with. It's hard to guard. It's hard to scout when a kid just plays that hard.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us here, and we'll wish you good luck Thursday.
Thanks, Marianne.